and many thanks for staying with us. This is High Prime. I am Favor Amarachi Mwogu. On our headlines, the worsening traffic congestion plaguing the major road of Buea could be a thing of the past if the municipal authorities prioritize on secondary roads. Denizens of Bitingi village say the Moliko checkpoint Bitingi Bonakanda to the Buea town stretch road could be the best alternative. Also, some underprivileged Cameroonians identified in the community have received vocational training on different hands-on skills. The Center for Community Regeneration and Development, CREAT, says the needy persons will effectively become relevant in the society with the skills acquired. Many thanks for joining us. Details of these stories. The population of Bitingi village are decrying the poor state of their road, which they say has been abandoned by the Buea Council. The residents expressed their frustration this Monday, May 31, 2021, while carrying out some maintenance work along the stretch of the road. According to them, the best alternative could be that if the government invests in this road, it could help to decongest the main road to the municipality and also increase socio-economic activities in the area. Hi TV's Yannick Funky tells us more in this upcoming report.
The worsening state of the checkpoint Bitingi and Bonakanda stretch of the road is arousing grave concerns. From the truncated potholes to the winding and bending, the secondary road has become a nightmare for many, especially commuters who assume the challenges as a way of life.
The road is dilapidated. The gutters are all blocked. Even the tarmac too has been, it's not okay. So we face a lot of difficulties. Our taxis and some private taxis that apply this road, we help the farm people who go to their farms and the people who come from the farms to the markets. And our cars are always bad, and the little money we work, it goes back to maintain the cars.
Our fare from checkpoint to our houses have been increased because of the bad roads. So
the poor state of the road can speak for itself. We could no longer hold ourselves again. I've had so many complaints, especially from car owners and taxis.
A stretch of road constructed to serve as a secondary artery has almost been abandoned at a time when the municipality is overly congested.
Buea has become, it's more than Douala now. We have problem with traffic issues. So we need to decentralize the roads. This is a main road, it's a ring road that leads right to Buea town, from Moliko checkpoint to Buea town, which those who know can decentralize themselves and use the other way, and will depopularize the road.
For these residents of Bitingi village, waiting on the competent authorities could take forever. They are mobilized in steadfastness to at least give the road some semblance of mobility.
We sat and thought it wise that we can come out with this gravel to mend the potholes. But then again, it's not enough. We can see for ourselves, we need canalization, we need drainage. So the powers that be, if they can come in to canalize just the road, I think we can do the maintenance while waiting for the government to come and do proper job.
Most of the food in Buea now comes from Bonakanda. So if this road is bad, the population will suffer. The farmers will not be able to carry their produce to the market. Even the people, the potential users of the products who are buyers, they will not see the products, and there will be a lot of difficulties, not only from the driver, the consumers, the farmers, and the community as a whole.
Digging through the sites and filling of the potholes were a characteristic of the busy engagements these able men of Bitingi committed themselves, all in a bid to cushion the challenges of coping with the bad roads.
Of this community, we are appealing to the council to see how they can give us caterpillars to give us drainage, because without good drainage, we are just wasting our efforts.
There are no gutters. So we are pleading on the authorities, that be especially the Buea Council, to help the chief provide maybe the bulldozers to create a gutter so that the little gravel that we have spread on the road will last.
The road is very bad, very bad. Even the amendments we are doing will not take us too long, but we want to start from somewhere. So I'm appealing to the government, if they cannot redo the road, at least they can do some amends. For the meantime,
while hoping for the day the authority that be will look into their plight, the villagers have made it a point of duty to carry out community actions once every week in order to prevent the road from further dilapidating.
And that report right there was in the southwest region in Boya. Moving on to Kumba, still in the southwest region. The mortal remains of Cameroon's eldest politician and former paramount ruler of the Bafor community, Senator Fonvi Imukete, has been laid to rest. The burial ceremony that took place in Kumba attracted thousands of mourners across Cameroon and beyond. He was decorated with a medal of honor posthumously by the representative of the head of state, Governor Okala Bilai. Larry Tengene has the details.
Thousands of mourners turned out en masse to bid farewell to the last figure of Cameroon's independence and reunification, Senator Fon Emeritus Victor Esemesongo Mokete, this Saturday, May 29. In the Green City of Kumba. The 103-year-old senator who passed away last April the 10th, 2021 was one who was an emblematic figure when it comes to Cameroon history and the political evolution of the country. Orator after orator, the speakers acknowledged the fearlessness and the fierceness of the firebrand politician who will truly be missed.
He was quite advanced in age. We think he could have still been there for us to benefit from his wide wisdom, for us to enjoy the camaraderie that we used to enjoy, because he was a friend to one and all.
Preaching from the scripture of John 14 verse 19, the preacher Reverend Mukokombwe Thomas, who equally doubles as a representative of the moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, entitled his message, "Because I Live," calling on mourners to be ready to meet their maker at any given time in period. He equally emphasizes on the need to live in peace with all men. Equally present at the solemn ceremony was a cross-section of ministers, state dignitaries, and members of diplomatic corps who actually came to bid farewell to the late statesman. The condolence message of the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, was read by the governor of the Southwest region.
Appreciate his great wisdom and his constant commitment to peace, concord, and national unity. Is an immense loss for the Mene division, the Southwest region, and Cameroon, of which he will remain one of the most eminent stars.
The late senator was laid to rest in his royal palace in the Green City of Kumba. He leaves behind his wife, 7 sons, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, family members, and a host of other Cameroonians to mourn him.
Back to the foot of Mount Cameroon, that is in Boya, some 51 students who recently gained hands-on skills on various vocational trades have efficiently graduated from the Center for Community Regeneration and Development, CREAT Boya. The Center ceremony that took place here in Boya over the weekend brought together a cross-section of population in the area. Larry Tengene tells us more in the following report.
The over 51 laureates of the Center for Community Regeneration and Development in Boya turned out en masse for their convocation ceremony at the esplanade of the school. These graduating students of this institution are benefiting from the largesse of the founder and director of the institute, whose goal is to empower the less privileged and vulnerable in society.
Center for Community Regeneration and Development is a humanitarian organization affiliated to the United Nations with a special consultative status, the first ever organization from Africa to have won the UNESCO Japan Prize on Education for Sustainable Development. So we are rooted in result-oriented project activities at the level of the community that engage people, engage families for the sole mission of social and economic empowerment, mainstream environmental protection.
This center, whose goal is geared towards sustainable development for humanity and enhancing the skills of all, is doing this gesture for free, as some of the beneficiaries promise to enhance the skill that they have acquired in their various fields of studies.
After leaving this place today, I'm leaving this place today, can I look for a job for myself? Then I can, maybe if there's no job, I can create one by maybe open a documentation. So I don't know what the future holds for me out there, but I believe it's for the best. So.
The center is sending forth these laureates from different vocational fields such as hairdressing, tailoring, information technology, and a host of others. Regarding the intake of the center and modalities, The director re-echoes the effervescence of their scheme.
We've been doing training since 2013. We have graduated more than 3,000 women and young people from our vocational intensive training program. And the specific message we have for them is to make sure they remain good ambassadors of the training program by training others, because for us it's a generational skill building program. So when we empower one, we expect the one person to empower other people.
As the Center for Community Regeneration and Development sends forth these young, vibrant individuals, it is incumbent for them to inculcate all what they have acquired over the months in the center and to make sure they are ambassadors of the center in whatsoever sphere of influence they find themselves.
You're watching High Prime beaming live here in High TV Studios, Bundumaboya. Youth in the Southwest region under the banner of the Southwest Youth League have raised the sum of over 3 million francs CFA to promote peace and sustainable development in the region. The money was raised during a fundraising ceremony organized over the weekend in the Buea municipality. In this upcoming report, High TV's Jabi Keti says that the money raised will essentially cater for the de-radicalization of separatist fighters.
With the socio-political crisis having eaten deep into the fabrics of the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, there is need for more efforts to be rallied to aid the restoration of peace in the restive regions. It is against this backdrop that the Southwest Youth League, with acronym SOWEYOL, has emerged strongly to join their voices in speaking for peace by mobilizing the young offsprings of the region to advocate for peace and sustainable development.
We are going down to the field for a regional peace-building sensitization mission. We want to preach and talk peace to our brothers and sisters.
To officially bring this project to light, SOWEYOL put forth a launching and fundraising event this May 31st, 2021 in Buea to present their course of action and the resources needed to fund the activities.
The objective of the fundraising today was to raise funds which will enable us to go down to the field to preach peace to our brothers and sisters in all the 6 divisions of the Southwest region beginning June 2021. We are putting up divisional bureaus and sub-divisional bureaus of the Southwest Youth League. It means that the Southwest Youth League will be represented in all the administrative units of the Southwest region. By so doing, it gives us a mastery of the entire youthful population of the region. We'll try as much as possible to ensure that every town and village in the Southwest region should have a youth leader, whereby that person can be giving us day-to-day report on what is happening in that community.
Some Southwest youth and elite answered present to this August event to volunteer their moral, financial, and physical support. Among them was Barrister Agbabala, who cautioned the young brethren against politicking and xenophobic propaganda.
There is a need for them not to only talk peace, but to work towards having a peaceful resolution of the conflict, for them to contribute in their own small little quarter also to ensure that we get back to normalcy. But whilst doing that also, we should try to build across the board. We cannot build peace alone in the Southwest region. We need to involve our brothers and sisters in the Northwest region and also in the other 8 regions of the country. But also the fact that they should not be used by politicians to satisfy their selfish political aims and ambitions, and they should not use the Southwest Youth League as a tool to foment hatreds and xenophobic attacks against our brothers and sisters from the Northwest.
5 years into the socio-political crisis in the 2 English-speaking regions, yet return to normalcy arguably seems to be a far-fetched idea despite effort channeled to redeem the state of affairs. The question now is, what difference does SOWEYOL intend to bring to the peace-building table that will yield expected results?
The difference SOWEYOL, of course, will bring to the fore is that SOWEYOL is an association which encompasses all the youths of the Southwest region. This time around, it's not the politicians who are going to talk to the youths, it's the youths themselves. And we think it will be very successful because over 80% of those who are in the bushes are the youths.
This project, which comes in to further sensitize the youth and ensure their active participation in sustainable development, will run for 3 months beginning June 2021 to August 2021.
Away from the Fako division into the Manu division, where there has been some celebration on the arrival of Reverend Father Christopher Eboka at the cathedral. The communication director of the Manfred Diocese, Reverend Father Christopher Eboka, who was abducted on May 22, 2021 by unknown gunmen, while performing his duties at the Cathedral Administration of the Diocese, has been released this Tuesday, June 1, 2021. He was released alongside his companion and the back rider in Manu after spending days in captivity. And that was the details of this story will be yours in the next edition of High Prime. On to our next story. Some youths in Buea have been schooled on the importance of acquiring knowledge in cosmetology as they venture into cosmetics sector. This was during a one-day conference organized by TM Cosmetics at Iya Restaurant over the weekend. The session equally highlighted on the need for the population to produce and consume locally made cosmetics. Benita Gi Atam tells us more in the upcoming report.
Taking a closer look into the world of cosmetology, it has been discovered that many youths have taken the bold step to be entrepreneurial and open up cosmetic shops. However, with the natural products available in the country, it is shocking to find out that majority of the items in the shops are imported.
You see, you get into a cosmetic shop, you try to do a quick analysis, you see that 95% of the things in the shop are actually imported. Why is it supposed to be so? Because we are actually neglecting so many things, and some other people, foreigners, are coming and making money out of it, you know. Yeah, it's simply because Cameroonians have been so discouraged about some certain sectors, and they have actually given up on doing something that can actually help them, you know. I will take you a simple example. I do produce products of which there are raw materials from which I imported in the production, because there are no people who are present locally to produce these things.
Hence, the need for youths to be educated on how urgent it is to venture into locally producing these items and avoid or limit the high rate of importing. An initiative which has been undertaken by TM Cosmetics in a one-day conference session where youths were skilled on how important it is to consume and produce locally made cosmetic items.
We actually organize this with the objective of creating awareness in people that we have all it takes. We have the raw material, we have the know-how, the capacity. Why are we neglecting some sector of activities and really letting other people to come and, you know, benefit from this? So actually, I think that's one of the major objectives of the conference.
This conference session equally hinted on the importance of every human being to know their various skin types before applying products on their bodies.
The different skin types, you know, how to manage your skin, some good skin practices, some kind of things to avoid, how to determine your skin type, and how to be able to identify what is good for you before even meeting a professional, what is good for you and what is good, you know, what's not good for you.
Those who attended the conference appreciated the efforts of the organizers and went back home with lessons learned.
Okay, so I learned a lot of things concerning the skin, and I learned that there are different types of skin. There's the oily, there's the dry, there's the normal, and then there's the combination. And that you cannot expect to use the products for one person's body to another.
In all, we are called upon to take the initiative of consuming locally made products and shun from always importing goods. Meanwhile, the population is called upon to learn how to convert these raw materials into top-notch products in order to reduce the influx of foreign cosmetic items in the country.
Back into the southwest region in Buea, some persons in the southwest region have been drilled on the use of parasites. This was during a seminar organized by Agrovita Services and Consulting Agrovix over the weekend here in Buea. The session also spotlighted on the best practices, the health effects, and also the safety measures of parasites. High TV's reporter Like Ekome tells us more in the upcoming report.
Agriculture is one of the most important sectors in the world that cuts across humans, animals, and plants. Due to the lack of knowledge on how to go about it, a seminar on pesticides, best practices, health effects, and safety measures was held recently in Buea. The seminar, organized by Agrovital Services and Consulting Agrovix, is aimed at training participants on the use of pesticides.
The purpose why we organize this seminar, Agrovix decided to organize this seminar, is to teach people proper ways of using pesticides And they should also know that pesticides, though they are very good, they also have some side effects. They can cause certain problems to health and the environment. And then our next purpose is for us to teach them the alternatives or best practices, best ways in which they should use pesticides.
Most of the times, these pesticides are wrongly used by farmers.
People use pesticides, they put pesticides in containers which are not theirs. So you use like water bottles, beverages cans, these sweet soft drinks bottles, and you put pesticide inside. A child can mistake that for soft drink and will drink. Some in rural areas, they wash pesticide containers and they put their drinking water inside. They put palm oil inside, palm wine inside. Those are bad practices.
Training even just one person is a plus, as they will at their various centers train hundreds of farmers.
For consumers, they should make sure to try to check. For things like vegetables, they should check if they are too fresh with no spots, there's too much chemicals in them. And then they should try to know some of the names of the chemicals that the farmers use, so that from time to time they too can go online, because with our Android phones we don't need to take only pictures and discuss, but we too can go online and do research about some chemicals.
Now in Cameroon, everybody sells pesticides, which is wrong. You have to have knowledge of the pesticides that they're selling. So it's good for people who want to buy to make sure the people who are selling know what they are selling, and it's good to read the pesticide that you want to buy, so as to know what you want to use in your farm.
There is no gainsaying that in recent times, many family deaths has been recorded. After a nice family meal, the whole family ends up dying. To curb such occurrences, seminars like this should be encouraged for good health, good life, and good food.
And that was what we gathered for you this day on High Prime. But before we part company, let us revisit our headlines. The worsening traffic congestion plaguing the major road of Buea could be a thing of the past if the municipal authorities prioritize on secondary roads. Denizens of Brisingi village say the Moliko checkpoint Brisingi Bonakanda to the Buea town stretch of the road could be the best alternative. Also, some underprivileged Cameroonians identified in the community have received vocational training on different hands-on skills. The Center for Community Regeneration and Development, CREAT, says the needy persons will effectively become relevant in the society with the skills they have acquired. And many thanks for staying with us here on High Prime. Keep staying in the company of more programs on High Television. Good night and God bless you.